Well, here's a great little device I discovered. I'm going to be using this on photo shoots in bright sunlight. You know, all these cameras we got today have, LCD lenses, and if you're out there in bright sunlight, you can't see anything through them at all. Well, when you put this over it, makes a world of difference. I think you have to hold it in place, but you can see through it. I don't know if it's going through in this camera exactly right, but you can see perfectly through this. And it has in here a thing where you can adjust the focus of this lens to that side. This is just open, but the lens, it's got a big wide lens. It's actually like a bigger lens than you see on a DSLR camera. And when it just fits over this, so you can be zoomed in. This is one of my problems when I'm filming something, especially if I'm zoomed in. If I'm zoomed in and I'm looking at an event way the heck down that way, and the camera, the sunlight is into my back. It's got great light out there. Sunlight's to my back, but the sunlight is reflecting right in that lens. When you put this over it, you can see perfect. I was just trying it out over there. The thing really works great. It's by ProAm USA. A lot of people don't know about this. This is designed to fit a 4:3 screen. This is actually a used camera I got off eBay. It's a pretty good one though, actually. Nikon makes, I've noticed the specifications on cameras, even if they're the same, Nikon has a better camera. I've used the Panasonics. I didn't like them. Sony's got a good camera. Nikon's got a good camera. Now, the thing is with this will not work with a cell phone because the buttons to turn on the camera are located on the screen itself. So you have to use, and besides, this doesn't really fit a cell phone. Well, I guess you can kind of use it somehow, but the thing is, the buttons that operate, in other words, this is the record button on this. So when I have this over that, I can hit record. And what I also like to do is I like to put this piece up against my chest, and I have like a tripod with this. Now I'll have this mounted over that, holding this up on my chest, which I can hold it nice and steady, even at a distance, and get really good shots that are pretty steady. And I'll be able to keep the viewfinder on whatever I intend to be videoing, even if I'm in bright sunlight. That has been one of my problems when I was like, zoomed in, like 100 yards away, 200 yards away, we'll say 100 yards away, and the sun's to my back. Can't see anything in his viewfinder, and it's like almost like guessing. You can see like real light shadows or real dark shadows of the event, because no matter how good these viewfinders are, like the camera I'm holding here has a very good viewfinder, considering that works fairly well with the sun, but still it gets all washed out. And again, if you're zoomed in and you're trying to hold it steady and try to concentrate on an event that's moving, that is, you're trying to keep in the viewfinder, and the event is moving across the field, well, it's nearly impossible to do. But with this, it's easy. The one thing I wish is that this could somehow attach to this, which maybe I could find a way to do that. Right now it just looks like you're holding on there. Or, you know what, possibly this is a magnet. Oh, you know what, I think I know what it is. This is excuse me, I just found out what this is. This is a glue. This is glue. So this would glue onto this, like so. And then it's a magnet that would hold it in place, so that's going to work fine. I just have to clean this off with some alcohol. And, maybe I'll put some super glue on it, for crying out loud, to make sure it sticks really good. And then this, you can see this, it's a magnet. So I didn't really read the directions yet. I know it's got this wonderful strap you can put around here, but I don't think I'm going to be using that. And it has two different size things of this. Maybe one of the one's a little smaller, so I'm going to be setting this up. But I just found out about this, and I said it's kind of weird that, you know, it's not sold that much. You don't really see this in stores. I don't know, maybe you'll see it in a camera store specifically. But it's a major problem if you're trying to, because all these, you know, when they had the optical viewfinders on cameras, they all had optical viewfinders. I still got a couple of those older cameras, but they're not as high resolution as this. Even though this is an older camera, this has still got, you know, 1080 dots per inch. Nikon does capture the picture quality of the very well, the color clarity and the contrast and the shadows. It does a really great job, better than the other brands I've seen, even in these simple candid camera point and shoot type things. This thing works out pretty good. I got a couple of Nikons, just a smaller one, and but with this totally solves the problem with the LCD screen being totally washed out in the sunlight. It's a fantastic idea. Now I've seen that this, you know, I'll probably super glue this on here too, or whatever. We'll see how this works out. But now with this being glued on there, that piece is coming on there with a magnet. It's on there pretty strong with this magnet. I won't have a problem holding this on there like that. And again, this part, I have this like that, and this is up against my chest. And that really, I can almost get semi-professional shots with this cheap-ass camera, you know. And that's what I'll be using in the future. So, you know, some other events or something like that, I have to get zoomed in. That's how we'll be doing it. So this is an absolutely great idea. This was, I think, $36 on Amazon. So oh, here we got iCup viewers. So I guess you could take this piece off of here and just have that, so it's like a sunshade, and you can have, or you can have this. This looks like this comes off too. Yeah, this piece right here comes off, so you can have it just like that with a little sunshade, or you can have this big thing. I'm not going to be messing around with it, so, but just want to point out, this is like a super slick idea, and it makes these little cheap cameras, you know, 100 times more versatile, because you're not using them indoors most of the time. You're using them outdoors, and if you're out by the beach or something like that, forget about using a viewfinder. Or if you're out there in the bright sunlight, forget about using a viewfinder, especially at a distance. God, if you're zoomed in with this thing and the bright sunlight, you can't see anything. And I was having a hard time with this thing. I actually did fairly well considering what I was working with, but in the future, shots are going to be coming out much more professional with this.